Everybody, it's Romania Black. We're on episode 9 of Link Click. So I said in the last episode that, I don't know if I'll be able to hold off until watching this episode. No, I did. I've waited several days because I'm nervous. Because I'm terrified. We have 3 episodes left of this season. I'm glad to know we're getting a second season. That's great. I'm terrified with going into this episode because the last episode ended on such an ominous note. We don't know where Shan is. Cheng and Lu may have messed something up. Something's astray. There's a demonic voice on the phone. Nope. Not having it. And Goldman on both Patreon and the Discord, I had asked what the 2 text messages were that they received in the group chat because I can't read Chinese. And I was like, what does that say? And all they responded with was, okay, the one text said, clue received. The second text said, my new friend. Not ominous at all. Nope. And then said, I will show up as promised. I'm like, Lu, did you and Cheng unknowingly open the gates of hell? Because, I mean, at this point, why not? So I'm terrified. I'm really nervous, and so I have not wanted to watch this. And at the end of the episode, I was like, I can't wait for episode 9. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't want to watch this one because I'm terrified. So, yeah. There's no going back, though. I've got to do it. I've got to watch it. We've got 3 episodes left. We're in the 3rd act. I've got to see how this ends. This episode is shorter than usual, which is weird. It's only like 22 minutes long, which is like a minute or 2 shorter, which is odd. It's just an odd thing because most of the time they've been like 24 minutes and this one's surprisingly like a minute or 2 shorter. It's odd. But yeah, so I have noted on discussions on Discord and in the comments that I am really going to miss this OP and ED. Like the OP and ED for this series is perfection. It's perfect. And so I'm sure that they'll pick a good one for season 2. But I don't know if it can top this one. These 2 songs they're just good songs in general. And then they're with this show and they're perfect, especially the ED, like for the cliffhangers. It's flawless. So I don't know how to feel about that. But I've waited a couple days and I'm like, I've waited like 4 days. And I'm like, you just need to watch it. You just need to rip the Band-Aid off, Romania, and just do it. So that's what I'm going to do. We are going to start episode 9 of Link Click, The Consequence of Goodwill. Gee, Cheng, I feel for you, buddy. Hang in there. We're going to watch it here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. What? No! There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. What just happened? Okay. This just got weird. This just got really weird. See, what I thought was going to happen. Oh my God. See, what I thought was going to happen was I thought that when Cheng was in the trunk of the car, that whenever the Min guy opened it up, that Cheng was going to like push him and he was going to fall backwards and then land in like the ravine or something, right? And land in like, because they were at like a abandoned factory or construction site. He was going to fall like in a pit and like hurt his back or something. And that's why he was paralyzed. And I thought that that's what Cheng would have changed the future. And so, but I guess that doesn't make sense because then he would have gotten, but that wouldn't make sense because then, and had the surveillance catch her on an abandoned bridge? What? This just got really freaky. Like, what? Okay, so the distorted voice, I don't think the distorted voice is Min. I think there's some supernatural freaky stuff at work. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. No, because the texts were clue received and my new friend. But I don't get the my new friend thing. The clue, they talked about looking for clues in the photo. And so, like, is time and space trying to correct itself because of what Cheng's been doing? Is time and space like, is this some like distortion in time and space where it's like you receive the clue, but like maybe the whole headline thing with Shan, it was like the clue it received that time had been distorted and it's trying to correct itself, but it's like overcorrecting, which caused the Min guy to get in a car accident and caused her to like be, but why was she on the bridge and why was she out at the construction site? Was she at the construction site? We need to go back. Oh my gosh, this episode, I was like, I probably was really quiet during this reaction because I was just sitting there like, what is happening? Like, so we're just getting stuff explained. I can't believe Ling didn't know that that's how their powers worked this entire time. She's like, I just thought you went in the back and performed a seance. Like, of course. That's what you do, right? Right? What? Oh. I may not be able to wait until episode 10 now. I may not be able to wait because now I'm curious. But now I'm curious. Now I want to know. Like, what's going on? What is this nonsense? No. What is this? No. Okay. I don't like this at all. Okay. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. But, okay, so they had the phone call, and then Cheng freaking out. Like, the way that they animate Cheng moving around in this episode, especially when he's, like, pacing quickly back and forth, like, you can just see his anxiety, because he thinks that this might be his fault. Because Lu connects the dots, and he's like, what if, because there's been this serial killer, right? The serial killer has been going around killing random people, and just for no reason at all. They don't get why they're killing him. It just randomly happens. So I wonder if the serial killer was setting up men, that it wasn't actually men, it was somebody else. Right? Maybe? Okay. It may have been somebody else, right? Okay. This is so bizarre. This is so very bizarre. But okay, wait. But the hat that he had on, the N hat, is that like a popular thing in China? Because I thought that the Mama's boy had on the exact same hat in the last episode, and then it wasn't him. So, what? Okay, so Lu figuring out that it could be because of their actions. The serial killer noticed Shan in the photo of her catching the criminal and thinking that and making her a target, which has Cheng freaked out because Cheng is thinking, oh my God, what did I do? This whole episode, the consequence of Goodwill, it finally coming back around and Cheng finally realizing what happened. And it ended a lot different than I thought it would. I thought Cheng would be really mad at Lu, but no, Cheng just feels really bad for himself because Lu was right and Cheng's realizing that he was right. And he's like, dang it, now what do I do? Oh my God. Okay. So, and then Lu tells Ling, he's like, don't let him have his phone. And at the time I was like, okay, well, is it just because you don't want him to like get on social media and get even more amped up and anxious about it? It's that, but it's also that apparently they don't need each other for their powers to work, which is terrifying. I thought they needed each other's powers to work, that they needed each other. They had to do the high five thing. No, they can just clap their hands together, which makes sense. That's how he gets out of the picture. He claps his hands together. But in order for Lu to help him, there has to be a connection. And without the connection, he can go into the photos, but Lu can't help him. That's so dangerous. Which I guess that would explain why Lu's been doing it this whole time. Lu's been probably able to do this beforehand by himself, but having the extra pair of eyes is helpful because then you get different peripheries. You can kind of see around in different ways. But yeah, so, and I like that they think that it's this guy Min, and the people in the guys in the briefing room, they don't like the Min guy because they think he's like a spoiled brat, and they're like, oh, it's just a spoiled kid that went abroad and came back and was executive of his daddy's board, and it's a very stereotypical serial killer identity, that it's the rich boy who just, had something maybe mentally unstable about them, and it just got, exacerbated, and my brain is mush. I'm like, what? I'm trying to figure out this ending, and my brain is like, wait, what is happening? I want to watch the next episode, but then I also want to let my brain cool down. So Lu looks at the photograph and sees the license plate number. So the license plate, it was his vehicle that Emma got into. So Emma got into the vehicle. They went out to this random site, and Cheng went into the surveillance video and got in there too. And so we established their power and everything. But then they get to the guy. Okay. So they go to the family's house, and the parents are like, we don't want you coming around because our son's been bashed on social media. Like, he's gone through all this stuff. Like, we don't want you anywhere near him. Like, he's suffered enough. And the last few days, stop making his life harder. And they didn't want to let the word get out that their son had been paralyzed. They didn't want the word to get out about his accident. They were trying to protect him from that information getting out. But then, yeah. And so this kid, like, with his dry lips and everything, Min, why are you out here? Oh my gosh. And that's him. He was in a car accident a while ago and paralyzed. How could he go around hurting people? So the question is this true? Is this true? Is it a lie? it doesn't seem like it's made up. It seems like he really was in an accident some time ago and is paralyzed. So where's Shan? Where's Shan? Why? This guy clearly killed Emma, so why is he now paralyzed? But she's still dead, so... And then Lu, God, it's so... The editing in this video, the editing in all of this, oh my God. No, that's still... I'm trying to look back if that's still the car, right? 30X7948. 30X... Wait. 7948. Yeah, it's the same car. Same car, everything. So they go to this construction site, right? He takes her off the detour. Super creepy vibe, by the way. Super creepy vibe. Like, nope. Stranger danger. Hate it. I just, the idea of a kidnapping and stuff like that, it's so disturbing. And this part was so creepy and and nope, having none of it. And then when he says we won't be getting there today, it's like, So they go to this, like, construction site from out of town. And so, but here's the thing. This guy, like, makes fun of her and stuff because of what she's done and trying to get this wealth. But I'm like, he's a wealthy son too. So why? What? He says he wants his money, but I'm like, dude, you're clearly mentally unstable. And she's like, let me go. I don't know what money you're talking about. And the sad thing is, in all of this, God, the imagery of Lu trapped in the trunk and him in the box and the claustrophobia of it. And it kind of ties back to episode 4 and 5, where Cheng, not Lu, but Cheng, where Cheng didn't want to be alone. And he was, like, in the dark alone, and he hated it. And in here, he's in the dark, and he's pretty much alone in this tiny space. And just the claustrophobia of it, and the way that it just zooms in and slowly narrows as he slowly figures out that all this is happening because he messed up. He changed the past when he wasn't supposed to. And he's like, I tried to do something good. And it's like, no, Lu warned you. He's like, you can't change the future, so you can't change the past. He's like, just let it go. Let it be. And it's like... And you knew this was coming, like, ever since we found out the whole ever since I found out that Detective Chow had the photo of her, I'm like, oh, well, it's going to come out in the wash. Cheng is going to find out. But this was so heartbreaking. So I guess the one Min guy is, like, working with the company that got robbed. And her parents are calling her. And God, the tension of her trying to, like, reach down and swipe the phone. I wanted her to reach down and swipe it so badly. I was like, no! You know? Damn it! I hate it. I hate it. It's just... Nope. And then her having the memory of her parents with the egg rolls, and that's, like, the last thing she remembers, and I'm guessing that she dies, yeah. And, oh my God. her trying to swipe the phone and trying to reach up and grab it. And it's like, ah, it's so tense. And he's like, and Cheng's like, why is my kindness repaid with such consequences? And the answer is because it was already set in stone. Like time it had a trajectory, and you can't go back and change the past. There's consequences to that. And Cheng realizing that he didn't do what Lu asked and that there were consequences. And then God, what am I supposed to... And he's like, Lu, what am I supposed to do now? And it's so sad. And I really honestly thought a number of things were going to happen, right? I thought that one, he was going to like make noise in the trunk and rock it to get the guy distracted from hurting Emma. I thought he was going to do that. I thought he was going to like beat on the trunk or something to make noise. I thought when he opened up the door, he was going to shove him like into a pit and break his back or hurt him or something and then save Emma. Like I thought Cheng was going to do all these things. And then it was like, no. So, no. So I'm like, what? Okay, I'm going back to this episode. I'm like, what else do we have? And then, yeah, Lu telling him don't do anything stupid. And he doesn't do anything. He goes back. And then he just pops up. He just pops back into existence. Yep. He just appeared. And so I'm curious if the guy saw him or not. That's the question. Did the men guy see him or did he not? So if he saw him, that's going to be a thing. But if he didn't see him and he just opens up and it's an empty trunk, then what do we do with that? And then, yeah, Lu came back. And it's so sad. Like, he doesn't really fight with Lu. Cheng comes back. He doesn't fight with Lu. And then, yeah, and Lu getting emotional. Lu showing this emotion, like, for the first time. He's like, why did you do it alone? He's like, you don't do it alone. I should go with you. Like, he was concerned. He's like, do you know how serious the consequences would be? He's like, the things you've done, the things you'll change are all out of your control. And it's like Lu getting so emotional, like he was worried about Cheng. He didn't want Cheng to hurt himself or to hurt anything else. And Cheng doesn't even fight him. He's like, I know. And he knows all about Emma. And I didn't do anything. Oh. And then Lu's like, yeah, you went to the photo. And so he confesses that he found out it was her that got killed in the car. He's figured it all out. The CFO's assistant who gave us the task with the games company. Yep. And so now they all know. It's all out in the wash. And then grabbing Lu's wrist. So he tells Ling about the whole thing with Dodo. That he's like, it's my fault that you didn't see. He's like, we could have avoided this whole thing if I hadn't caused that one incident. Like, I changed the past, and that made such an impact that if I hadn't done it, then it wouldn't have changed. So I'm really concerned because we didn't even touch on Shan Shan. We didn't touch on her at all. Like, she's still missing. And there's still that mysterious voice. Like, it's creepy, like whatever's going on. And so, yeah, and then we cut back to the two cops, and they're like, he's definitely not the perpetrator. And they're like, why? They're like, at the time, didn't a victim named Emma enter his car? And she works at the games company. And then it's clear the two of them are connected. There must be some clues. And he's like, oh, you're pretty amazing. You could even find out those details. That's really great and all. But then he gets to this. He's like, and then they don't tell him. And he says, no. He says, there's a lack of evidence. According to the information from our latest investigation, Lu Min was not present at the scene when Emma was killed. And they're like, wait, what? And he's like, that's the truth. He was in the hospital at 1 o'clock at night. And Lu's like, but we just confirmed it was him. And Lu's like, excuse me? Surveillance footage captured Emma, like, on the bridge, walking alone on an abandoned bridge. Like that information wasn't in the case before. So something's gone back and changed things. So I'm like, okay. So did Cheng and them try to go back in the past and see what was up? Because this is the second time that Cheng has busted onto the scene to alter the past, right? He altered it once, causing Emma to get killed in the first place, supposedly, and then he altered it again by interrupting the guy that was killing her. So is like the fabric of time and space distorting, and like things are starting to go back and even change before then, and like time and space is just altering itself? I don't know. I want to find out though. I hadn't planned on watching episode 10, but I might. Only because I want to know. You can't end an episode like that. You can't end an episode like that and then expect us to be okay. Link click. We've only got 2 episodes left. Dang it. I don't like it. So yeah, I thought going into this episode we would get like into further. I honestly thought that the drama would be, I thought that Cheng would have a more visceral reaction, but he's really just like shut down from grief, right? And Lu is all amped up now. Now it's reversed, right? Cheng seems like he's the calm one because he's just drained emotionally, and Lu's the one fired up because he doesn't understand how this is possible. Like, what is happening? And Ling is just like, I thought y'all were just having spiritual seances, so here we go. I did not expect to end on the cliffhanger that we did, and for time to seemingly be altered. What? So I may have to watch episode 10. I hadn't planned on it. I planned on watching it next week, but y'all expect me to wait a week? How you all did it when this first came out, I don't know. I don't know how you did it, but yeah, so yeah, we'll see. I'm going to think about it on a sec. I'm going to think for a second and then maybe watch the next episode. Maybe. But in the meantime, I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. Please no spoilers. But I hope you all have a wonderful week and enjoyed the reaction. Stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Link Click. Bye.